Jesus is about to, he knows what's going to happen. This isn't a surprise to Jesus. He knows he's going to be crucified. He's already told the disciples in 3 years of ministry, he has never doubted how the story was going to end. On the night before the crucifixion, he had dinner with the disciples. He washed their feet. He told them that one of them was going to betray him. Judas leaves. And now he takes his 3 closest friends. And listen, if there's ever a night to be afraid, it is the night before you're going to be crucified. Would you not agree? Like, how much anxiety would be created by this event? A lot. So here's Jesus. He's overwhelmed with it, but remember, it's your response to fear that you're going to see is what makes him perfect in every way. And so he goes out, and he came out in verse 39, as was his custom. And by the way, you and I, think about it for a minute, just to follow that thread. If we were about to face the crucifixion the next day, we would be striving to find a way to escape it. I might be planning how to leave town. I might be looking for the next train out of Jerusalem, right? Think about it. Why? Because I think if I can control it, if I can get out of the pain, if I can avoid the pain. But Jesus doesn't do that. He goes to the Mount of Olives with his disciples, 3 of them. And he came out and went, as was his custom, to the Mount of Olives, as was his custom. I wonder how many times in his life he felt this burden of fear and this anxiety that might have threatened. And he was in the custom when he had that, to go to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples followed him. And when he came to the place, he said to them, "Pray that you may not enter into temptation." And he withdrew from them about a stone's throw, and he knelt down and prayed. And I think that the kneeling has so many symbolic visuals there, but here's Jesus, who rightfully should have been afraid. Here's Jesus, who rightfully should have been anxious about what was to be very painful and very awful. We know it now, but he knew what was coming. Here's Jesus, who could have found a way to escape it. Here's Jesus who could have, there's so many ways that he might have coped with it, but instead he goes to the place where he was used to being alone with the Father. And he bends under the weight of that fear, and he bends his knees in reminder that there was only one place that he could put that weight, where he would find victory, because he, in that moment, was restating what he valued the most, which was utter and complete dependence on God, his Father. He had made it a habit his life, not just the last 3 years of ministry, but 33 years. He had made it a habit of finding communion and peace with God, so that before every single major decision, Jesus would take time alone with God to pray, to be silent, to find solitude with God. He had a habit of it where they would look for him and he would be alone up on a mountain praying. He was so much in the custom of it that here again, under this weight of what should have been the most fear, and it was fear causing, to the point that he's sweating drops of blood. So the sin isn't that you feel afraid, it's what do you do with the fear? And Jesus doesn't sin, because he takes that fear that is on him and he transfers it to the Father. And that transferring happens with one word, and it is this word: surrender. He says, "God, if you could, Father, if you could remove this, that's what I'd love." But he lands on surrender. It says, "Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done."